Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm hopping on here this afternoon to demonstrate my May online class cards. So if you purchased these in May, I mailed out your package in June, and now we are going to look at how to put them together. I just got on here just a minute or two early to be sure I look pretty straight, and I do. So let's get started. If you're here, if you could comment, that would be great. I always love, hi Judy. I always love to see who's watching and things like that. And if you're new to my video, just type that in the comments. It's always great to have new people watching too. So let's just get started. We're just gonna go here in the order that I have them laying here. Now don't mind my envelopes because sometimes I just use envelopes when there's something wrong about the card, or I did something different with one of them, so I have it be mine, and so I want to put it in an envelope so I don't accidentally send it to someone. It could be that I cut the ribbon a little bit too short or something. I never remember why I decided I need it, but that's why it has this envelope flap, because that definitely would not go with this card. So let's get out what we have here. We have some of the beautiful gallery paper. We have some rhinestones. We have some silver ribbon, which I thought went well with the cloud cover. And we have the base, the label, and we have these two little things, which I'm not sure why I have these. I think this must just be left over from something. Or, I don't know, maybe if I put them together, they would work to make the bottom of the card on the inside. That might be why this one is put in an envelope just for me. Let me get a, I thought I had some insides cut here. Here I do. I think maybe that's what these two pieces are for. You probably got a piece that is long enough to go at the bottom, but at the end I had these two little pieces and I didn't want to cut another whole piece, so I'm just gonna kind of try to fit them together down there at the bottom. So we'll get to that when I get to the inside of the card. So let's get started. This is our card base. We're gonna use our bone folder to burnish. I'll tell you how big this is cut. This is cut at 5.5 by 6, and then it's scored at 4 1/4. And then that just gives you this little panel here on the side and the front. So the first thing I did was I sent this piece here through the embossing folder with all the, I forgot what you call that. I want to say like hobnob or something, but I just love the little circles. So I'm just going to use some mono adhesive here. I have two mono adhesives sitting here because one is almost empty and I want to try to use it up, and the other one has more, but now I'm thinking this is the one that has less now that I'm trying to use it. So it might be gone. So let's try this one. Hopefully they're not both gone. No, this one is better. So we are just going to center this on here, knowing that we're going to leave a little bit bigger on this tab because part of this is going to cover that up. So see, you're not even going to see that, so I really should move this. So that's put, lay your designer series paper here, or if you want, go ahead and add your designer series paper first, and then you'll be able to center this better. So now we just needed to kind of be over just a little bit. When I did this, I forgot that you're going to have that paper covering up some of that. Okay, so now we're just going to put a line of glue right here at the very edge of our cloud cover. And we're going to take this piece, and I don't think this has an up or down. Well, this looks better. Yes, I guess it does. This is up. So I'm going to lay this here, and I want to even it with this edge. So that's what we're going for, is to get it even with that edge. I could have even went over some more. I should have took my own advice and did the DSP first. But that's okay. I'm not going to tear it off again. But you can get yours more evenly spaced if you did your DSP first. Sometimes I've made these cards a month ago and I don't remember exactly the steps I took to make them. So now let me find my, what am I looking for? My tear and tape, which I do not see in my package of adhesive here. I have a brand new one, so I guess I'll just start this new one, because I have a little bit of a mess on my desk for making some cards the other day, so I'm sure that it is probably buried somewhere here on my desk. So I will just start my new one. Here's our tag, and I used the new paper tag stamp set and dies to cut this out. So let me see, I have them here. I really usually stamp this first and then cut it out, but because I can't do that to mail to you, we will just try lining everything up right now. And if you don't happen to have the postage tags, you could put any words on here and you really wouldn't have to have this like frame piece. Okay, we're going to see how good we can do with this. So this is not photopolymer and I can't put my head right over it. We're going to go for it. I missed it a little. Okay, we're going to try again. It should just fit right on there. That's a little bit better, but not quite well enough. Let me get a baby wipe here so I can get the memento off here before I get it all over. Okay, so maybe what I need to do is go ahead and cut that out. Let me find a piece of white here. I'm not very, I think maybe I could get better if I could actually stand up and get my head exactly over the top of it, but with the camera here I can't. Well, I do not want to stamp on my silver cutout, rub-ons. I thought that was just a piece of white that was laying there. I think I could have got the words in there, I just couldn't get the tag. Let's see if it's going to fit on here. Oh, it's not. Well, I guess I'm just going to use my inside sheet, and I'll get a new inside sheet. Here's one. Okay, here we go. This is another tag from the same set. that I'd cut out as a sample. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try these words. So you might, if you have a hard time getting it in there, you might just want to put some words. They're much easier to get the words to fit on there without the frame. Now I need to take it to the cut emboss machine and cut it. This was going to be a fast and easy card. Now I've made it into a more complex card. All right, here we go. We have our tag now. So we're going to put some tear and tape on the back. And like I said, if you have your own words, it's just that I can't stamp anything. Otherwise, I would have stamped the frame and cut it out for you. But according to Stampin' Up! Rules, I can't stamp anything when I sell a card kit because of the copyright and everything. So I'm going to take a little piece of tear and tape here. Put it down here, and another piece, and put it up here. Then I take my Pick-a tool, and I pick off the backing. There we go. I'm going to put my tear and tape right over here so that I can see it when I need it for the next card. And I'm going to take my silver ribbon and I'm just going to kind of put a loop up. You could put yours however you like. I kind of put a loop up here and then a loop down here. I think that one needs to be a little bit longer. Oh no, I could probably have it too long. It's hard to tell. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now if I wanted to, I could bring this piece up and have like a tail come out the top too, but since I don't have enough to do another tail, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to trim this. And I am going to add it to the card with dimensionals. Because with this ribbon on the back, it's going to be kind of bulky, so it wouldn't lay flat. It's better just to go ahead and pop it up now. I went to get my nails done yesterday, and I thought I picked out like a coral color. It looked coral at the salon, but when I got out in the sun and I got home, it's like pumpkin pie orange. So I'm just a little bit early for Halloween this year. And so now I have these 3 rhinestones. This time I had a mixture of this. I have 3 small ones. So I'm just gonna kind of put these on here, maybe to look like drops of dew on the roses. Let's see. Guess maybe I could put one over here on that one. And then we're going to put the inside of the card in here. And I got you a strip. Yours is 1 strip. Mine is 2 pieces. But that's alright. Now you can do it either way. You can either turn it on this side and match the inside of the card. See? That's the beige and the cloud cover together. Or you could do it with the phone. I think I'm going to take this side. So I need to put some adhesive on this. It'll be easier to match up. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to put this one away from me so that I quit picking the wrong glue. Just need a little bit. Put across the bottom here. See, this is what you could do with your scraps, is use them up on the inside. Sometimes I like glue because you can move it easier, then other times it does what it just did there and slid right off the paper for me. There we go. So it's just a little bit long here, not bad. And now we've decorated our inside to match. So we are finished with card number 1. Even though we had to go and find the die and cut out a new label. Alright, so let's move away our stuff here, so that I can move on to the other card without getting any of the ink or anything on the new card. Okay, so here we go. Let's find card number 2. This is one of my favorite cards, and it's easy to put together too. It's called All Zipped Up. So let's look inside our folder here, and we have some strips that go along the zipper. We have 1 large rhinestone. We have the zipper pull. We have the shirt, the inside, the zipper. Not sure why I have the pink is to go underneath the shirt. And then I have 2 pockets. And I don't have any more rhinestones. Maybe they fell out inside my package. Oh, and here they are. 6 small rhinestones. So the very first thing I always do is burnish my crease here so that it'll lay flat. We have that already. Alright, I'm going to lay these rhinestones up here so I don't lose them. Okay, so let's next take our Pretty in Pink and put it behind the pecan pie to look like maybe you have a blouse and a sweater over the blouse. We'll just put a little bit of ink right here and right here. And it doesn't matter if this pink is too long. because it's not going to show anyway, but you want to be sure that you have it even at the top. So there we go. So we're going to set this aside till we get the jacket assembled. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be very careful that we don't get any glue on our fingers so that we get it onto the silver foil, because that kind of makes it be dull and not shiny. So I'm just going to put some dots up here of the Motto adhesive up the sides. You could cut this out with the adhesive sheet. And then you're going to try to line the teeth of the zipper up with the teeth that are cut out of the jacket. It really is pretty easy to do. I'm trying to be sure I'm high enough on the glass to show you. I'm going to definitely put a pair of my reading glasses in here that I cannot take out of here, so that when I have to do like things like this on the video, I can have them right here and I don't have to try to strain to see. But I think I got that lined up pretty good. Now I'm going to take this piece, and actually when you cut this zipper piece out of the die, it's long enough to get 2 zippers out of one because it's very long. So again, I'm going to put some dots on here. And I'm going to try to keep it together and overlap it just a little here. And then cut it off at the bottom. Alright. Let me work to get some of the glue off my fingers. So I'm going to move this now so it's even. And then it stays together, because we don't want a broken zipper. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take these little strips here, and we're going to, again, they're going to be way too long, so you can cut them off. We're going to lay them right here next to the zipper, to the teeth of the zipper. So we're just going to put some glue dots going up this way. We're going to take this, we're going to be sure that we have that bend in the right place, and we're going to add it. And don't worry about it being too long, because they made everything with this zipper be too long, and we're just going to cut it off. So let's do this side. It does have a right and wrong though, because you couldn't put it this way, it's not going to follow the, so you have to be sure you have it turned the right way. And we're again going to lay it right down next to the zipper. We're going to pick this up, we're going to cut these off. And there we have our zipper. The only thing we're missing is the pull tabs, so here it is. Before I lose it, because it's so little, I'm going to add the pull tab right there. Okay, I'm not going to push it down again with my finger. It keeps getting stuck to me. I'm going to use my scissors. Okay. So now we can add our shirt to the back. So we just kind of want to put some here at the top because it'll be held down when we glue it to the card base. And we're just going to fit this right here like this, and then we're going to look at it and see if it looks like it's pretty much in the center. It has to go a little bit this way, but since I used glue, I can just move it. There we go. Now that looks pretty centered. So we're going to put the whole thing This one takes much longer to cut all the little pieces than it does to make the card. We're going to add this to right here. And we're going to hear my dog bark. I'm not sure why. Oh, somehow this slid down a little bit here. Now I can't. Well, I can't fix that because it'll be too short down here now. So we'll just have to live with it. Will try not to look at it. So now I have these pockets. And see how I put some early espresso around the pockets? I might have to go look and see if somebody's in my driveway. Because usually if it's just the people across the street coming home or something, he does not continue to work. Oh, there we go. We're going to go lay down now. Hey, Herbie. Herbie. It's okay. Come lay down. He's looking at me now. But Mom, there's somebody out there. There's somebody across the street. You don't know. So I'm just going to take the edge of my pockets and go on the edge of my early espresso stamp pad here. I just thought maybe it gave him a little bit of a 3D look to have a darker border. This time I'm not making the border as dark as I did the first time. Let's see how that looks. Curved part. See, I got a lot on the curved part only because it's so hard to try to get just the curve. So that one looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it just gave it a little bit on the edges, a lot less than this one. So that's up to you. You can put a thicker border or a skinnier one. So let's try to see if we can get this one skinny. If not, then we might have a thick one. We'll have to change the other one. See, I'm just getting just the very edge. Just to kind of make it look like a shadow, that it's not laying flat. Okay. So far, so good. Now we're going for the curved part. Oh, we did better on the curved part this time. I shouldn't have said that till after I was finished. Just a little bit more here on the... So there we go. Okay, those are not as dark, but you can still see it. And it could even look like stitching or something around the pockets. So we're going to add the pockets. Something about when I close the ink pads, every time I get a mark of ink on my thumb. I don't know how I do it, but somehow my thumb gets in there when I'm closing them and gets a line on it. So let's put these pockets on. Now, if you wanted to, you could have switched these pockets to the other side and have it be a different design. It would then have this design. But I decided I wanted it all to be matching for this one. And then I have my inside, which is right here. And I just have this strip that matches the jacket to put at the bottom. Then we have one more thing to put the necklace on, which shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so this will be our inside. They have a lot of good sayings with the zipper set, like just zipping by to say hi, or happy birthday. So now we're going to make this necklace. So first of all, I need the large rhinestone, which it fell back here, the largest one, I think. We'll see. Now I'm probably crooked. Okay, so here's the large rhinestone somewhere. Take my pick a tool, and I'm going to put the large one right in the middle of where I want the necklace to be. So like right here. And then I'm going to take a small rhinestone and put it here, and another rhinestone and put it up here, and then the third one right in the middle. That way they get pretty much evenly spaced. Well, I say that, then they're not, but we will get it evenly spaced. We're going to move it up here a little bit with the pokey tool. There we go. Okay, so again, we'll take one and put it here by the big one. Leave it a little space. These are so small and so much static on the window sheet. Here's the one up here. Then we have one in the middle. So I think this one could go up a little bit. And there we go. So I don't know why I have this extra one. It might, hopefully it's nobody else's, and it just got in my bag by mistake. So card number 2 is finished. Yay! Okay, so now let's move on to card number 3, which is Strawberry Slush. That's the name of it. I always want to say Summer Slush or something, but it's Strawberry Slush. Is this pinkish color, pinkish red color. So we're going to take out our pieces. It's called a triple panel, or a triple pop-up. Get out my pieces. I'm going to move these over here so that I have some more room. Dump out everything we need. Crease our card base. Now we're going to take these 2 pieces. They've already been cut and scored in. I had to fold them once in order for them to fit in the envelope. So what we're going to do next is it's going to go like this, and then one's going to come out. So it's going to be like a Z, a backward Z on that side. So see how we have that? That's how you want to do these. So there we go. So we're going to take this. We don't want to put the inside yet because we want to be sure we get it with an even border. So we're going to wait. So we're going to glue down one side of these. Let's put the DSP on first though. I forgot about that because it's just much easier to put it on when it's laying flat than after it's popped up. So we should have two of our we should have at least two of these small ones. Somehow I got three. And I put the wrong side out. Okay, so mine's going to be opposite. Well, I don't have to because I have three of them. See, I knew I was going to make a mistake. I want to put glue on the flower side. It would work the other way too. So let's fit this in here. It goes all the way from the score line to the next score line, and it just has a border on the top and the bottom. We've had a pretty nice week this week. We've been having so much rain. I think maybe we only had rain late Tuesday night or like early Wednesday morning. I could hear it thundering when I was in bed. And my grass just grows like crazy. The poor guy who comes to cut it, it's like a jungle every time because that's what grass needs is rain. Okay, so we're just going to put this one side down here. We're going to even it with the top and the side. My fingers must be kind of sticky because everything keeps sticking to them, so I'm going to use this to press it down there. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up with the side and the bottom. Okay, and now we're going to take our middle one and do the same thing. We're going to make the Z fold. It's going to go down like this and then back up. And I should have probably creased those other ones before I put them down, but I did not. But I'm going to do for this one, especially because it's longer and bigger. It needs a little help. Okay. And we're going to put some right here on this piece. And we're going to line it up along the edge and center it top to bottom between the other two that we have already put on there. So I'm going to lay it this way. And I'm going to line it up here at the edge. And see that I have even from top to bottom, from here to here and here. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to get it glued down there. And I'm going to flip it this way now so it's easier to see. So now we have this. And we can put this all to one side. And we can take our embossed piece. You're not going to want to lay over here for very long. And we want to just leave a little bit of a border between where this ends and your embossing piece lays. And a little border at the top and the bottom. So let me put some adhesive on here. And you can pick whichever side, the embossed or the debossed side. This is the Simply Xenia embossing folder. And I'm just going to put it, oh, I want to say maybe like 1/4 of an inch from the top, the bottom, and the side. Okay. And now I can finish gluing this down. Get some glue on there. Again, we're going to put this even with the top and even with the front of the card on the side. And if you notice, I forgot to put my flowers. This time I am going to use the flower side, and it's going to go right like this. I'm just going to put this down like this for a minute to get this put in here. Let me stand it up and see if it looks even. It needs to come this way just a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to take this tab. I'm going to add some adhesive. First, I'm going to try to get some of the adhesive off my fingers because I can feel it now. And I keep sticking to everything. Okay. We're going to line this up with this edge. I like to feel it like this and kind of run my finger down to be sure that it's even. And then we have one more to do. This one didn't take as long either as I thought it might. So we're going to line this up with the edge at the bottom. I like to watch, if I'm take a card class with somebody else, I always like to watch the video, then get my cards all out, and then watch the video again to make my card, because I kind of know what's going to come up and I can be ready to have my pieces. Or I pause it after every step while I'm still looking for my pieces and stuff. Okay, we're going to have just a little bit of a border top to bottom, left to right. Then we have this piece. Needs to come up a little bit. Ooh, and over a little bit. I shouldn't have pressed it down already. I didn't watch the left to right. Okay, I just got done saying how this was easy. And I'm having troubles with it now. There we go. So now this will stand, because that's why you made everything be even on the bottom. It will stand up like that. All we need now is, I already went ahead and stamped Happy Birthday on here, and with white embossing powder, you can stamp whatever greeting you want. And I'm going to put a little piece of tear tape on the back. This one's not as long as my other Happy Birthday. When I was looking for You know, when you make these at the beginning of May, but you're putting them together at the end of June, sometimes I forget which stamp set I used for my greeting. And this is the first, so I came to this happy birthday before I found that one, so I just used this one because it fit. It's a little bit shorter. And then I'm just going to take my pink baker's twine here, or linen thread, and I'm just going to make some loops at the top and at the bottom. I like to try to use embellishments and ribbon on every card, because at the end of the catalog time, when it comes time to get new ribbon, new embellishments, sometimes I have so much left over of the old I don't want to invest in new. So this is my goal this year, is to use up more of my ribbon and my embellishments while I'm making the cards. Because you always think, oh, I'm not going to have enough to do. Well, that almost looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? Kind of, if I put another piece of its body down here. Let's just see if we can get it to look like a butterfly. Well, it kind of does look like a butterfly. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now just to hold that all in place, I'm going to put another piece on the back of it. Just to be sure that none of it comes off. I got it sticking out just a little bit. So I need to trim that. Alright. Oh, and I need to trim this tail here, because we don't need that showing. Okay. Now we're going to use some dimensionals and add it to our card. Sometimes the backing gets like stuck on there or something. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put this right here in the middle. Somehow we lost our other butterfly wing. I put a dimensional on it and drug it down. Okay, so now it doesn't really look like a butterfly, but it did there for a minute. There we go. Now we're going to add some bling with these little iridescent sequins. They kind of take on a tint of whatever color paper that you put them on. Trying to get one up there. I like this putty tip on the bottom of my pick-a tool. For a while I didn't use it enough to get good at using it, but now that I've been trying, it works really nice. It just took a little learning curve for me how to scoot it. And it doesn't always like to do it when you have such a little piece of window sheet to hold on to. And you have nails that slide when you try to hold stuff. Let's see, why is it that I say, oh, so the work's so good, and then it gives me such trouble? There we go. No, we got it stuck to my finger instead. There we go. So this is card number 3. Okay, now we're ready for our B one. You're gonna need some Scotch tape for this one. You find the envelope with everything. Okay. Oh, I have 2 here because I messed up one. But I'm only going to make one with you. One is going to be crooked, so we shall see. Which one it is. It's this one. It's a little bit crooked. See how I got it too close to the one side, but I was just going to go ahead and go with it. And try to make it look like I wanted it to be. Tipped to one side. So, let's get this out. We want... So what I did was, I glued the Designer Series paper to a piece of basic black. Then I cut this out right here. So now what I want to do is I want to put this black piece back in here like a frame. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to tape it in so that we just want to be sure that it stays in there while we're turning it over to put on the card and everything. It might stay without the Scotch tape, but it will just be more sturdy if we put a little bit of Scotch tape on there. So we're just going to kind of, and it's not going to show it all. It's just that you have nothing to put adhesive on because it's just the frame fitting in the hole. So you could put it all the way around if you want to. I'm just going to put it in a few places. Because like I said, I really only need it to hold it. Until I can get it attached to the card base. I went a little bit underneath it there. Okay. So, like I said, this one's a little crooked, but we're going to we're going to make the words be crooked. And maybe it'll look like it was supposed to be this way. So, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take dimensionals and pop this up. So I know I just have my dimensionals. You all saw them. You're there. Okay, now if you notice, this is just the part that came out of here before. And even, I tried not to put any glue in the middle, but I did get a little bit on this piece, so, but don't worry, I'm going to put one of my B's there to hide that. Because I tried not to put glue in the middle, but I just got a little too close to the middle for the edge there. So when I tried to peel it off, it was glued. So this one just has several mistakes in it. Thus, that is why it was in an envelope marked mine. Okay, so now we have this popped up just a little. And we are going to take some adhesive and we're going to glue this down inside. And we want to put this point that's got the black and the paper kind of torn right where the bee is going to be, so you'll never even see that. Now, when I cut yours, again, I'm going to clean this off a little bit because it's kind of sticky right here in the middle. We'll let that dry for a minute. I know that I could not stamp anything for you, but you can make your bees with just a Sharpie and put some lines on them and put a little face. And you don't have to have the lines on the wings if you don't want, but you could also draw those in. But I thought it was pretty simple to draw those in. That's why I still went ahead and made this card. Because at first I thought I could have you cut out some of these bees and use them, but they were so much smaller. So I have my bees here. And they're not stamped. I guess I figured I was going to stamp them when I was making them. So let me find my stamp set. It is right here. Like I said, it won't be that hard to go ahead and just use a Sharpie to add their faces and their stripes. But I will stamp mine since I have them here. Let me find my blocks. Because I really thought I did stamp this ahead of time, but I guess I did not. So, we're going to use Memento ink. I think my Memento needs to be re-inked. Oops, I almost put that wrong. These are pretty easy to line up. There we go for that one. And now, because we want them to be opposite, so they're facing each other. So I have to stamp this one this way. Excuse me if my head is in the camera. There we go. Now we want to add the faces. I just need a little block for those. Here we go. Here's the face. And like I said, drawing this face with a Sharpie is not going to be hard at all. There we go. All right, and I think I'm going to leave the lines off the wings. But what I am going to do is I'm going to Stella the wings. So let me find my Stella here. This will just make it be a little sparkly. We're going to attach the wings to the bumblebee by adding some adhesive back here. And we're going to add these wings. There we go. then we're going to add the antenna. We're just going to lay that there and then position the bee over it. Okay, so here's one of our bees. And see how it's just going to cover up that spot right there? At first I was thinking these look smaller, but they're not. They're the same size that I used there because there is a larger bee. I'm going to add the wings. Put a dot on the antenna. I just love this set. It's so cute. And I think it's a great anniversary card. If I can get my fingers unstuck from the wings here. Okay. And then I'm going to just put these here flying towards each other. There we go. So now all we have left is the embellishments, which we're using the iridescent ones because they pick up some yellow and purple. These are the yellow ones. But they have a purple sheen to them also. So we're going to place these wherever we would like. Add one down here. One up here. We have one more. Always good to work with odd numbers. Now let me show you how I did the greeting. Because the stamp set actually says, wait, I had to take the B off here because I'm just going to use this same block. And these words actually say, we are meant to be. But I wouldn't mind just to say, meant to be. So this is how I fixed that. I really got some glue on the back of this. Okay. I took a Post-it note. Let me find the Post-it notes. And I put it over the we are. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ink it up. Don't lose my bee there. I don't want to lose it, so I've got it stuck to the ink pad. So I'm going to ink this up. Then I'm going to add this Post-it note over the we are. Be sure that it's stuck down there. And then I'm going to stamp it on here. So now it just says meant to be. And this could be our tag. I'm going to go ahead and do this one as long as I have the meant to be all right here. I can't leave the Post-it note on there when I'm inking it up because then I happen to get petunia on the Post-it note. Then it'll make a mess when I go to lay it down. And I do see that I have a little petunia ink up here. I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to stick this down again. Just like I did last time, covering up the "we are." Get this straight. And it's going to fall off because it might not be as sticky as it was the first time. And then we're going to say "meant to be." Meant to be. Worked out again. And that will dry just a little bit lighter. Then also we have a petunia pop heart to put in there. And there we go. And we have a piece to put down on the inside of our card for both of the cards I have here. So there we go. Card number 4. Finished. So before I go, I kind of wanted to show you what my cards are for this month. And you'll get the package in July. And we'll make them. But just let me show you what I have in store. So first I have this one. It's using the linked together set. It has like this trellis piece and these flowers, and it will stand up like this to display. And it's going to be either your card's going to be pretty peacock and your lattice is going to be Lost Lagoon, or it's going to be the other way around. Just because when you cut this, you get one of one color and one of the other. So we're just going to coordinate the colors for the cards. This is using the new 6x6. I want to say it's beautiful gallery paper, but it's so pretty. And so in order to see all of the scene, we're going to make this card. I think we do this a lot of times, but it's always a great card to use when you get some of this new paper so that you can see the whole piece. Then this is one of my favorites. A Notes and Totes with a little tote with some sunglasses, a scarf, some suntan lotion, a book in there, or a newspaper. That's what that's supposed to look like. And then last but not least is this little tech card that'll fit in a regular envelope. You are destined for great things. And again, your sky piece might be different because this is also 6x6 paper, but it'll be close. It'll be the sky. Sometimes it has white clouds in it. Sometimes it has these other clouds that just don't have enough pieces of this one particular kind, because you only get 4 pieces in a stack of the paper. But there's lots of pretty skies in this paper. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And let me know if you would like to purchase the June online class. It's $25. You get everything that you see except for, like I said earlier, I can't stamp anything, but you get the ribbon, the embellishment, all the pieces cut out. And so you would just have to have something, words that would fit in that. For this newspaper one, maybe you have a happy birthday you could just put across the top. This is just a note. They're really easy. And this one I haven't even put a greeting on yet. I haven't decided what I want to put on that one. But you will have greetings in your collection of stamps to use for them. Or if you really like this tote one and you're going to get it, then you would have the exclusive made just for you. I hope you have a great afternoon, and thanks so much for joining. Oh, hi, Anna. I just saw that you just hopped on right when I finished. You can always watch the replay after you go to pick up the girls. And I was showing off the cards for this month here at the end. Bye, you all. Happy stamping. See you later.